The mighty Speke of the Leyland line plunged out of control of the helmsman's grasp. Though 4 stories tall to her top deck, she was just a plaything to the raging blast. For days from Sydney they had fought the gale that roared in from the southwest. Now closer and closer it forced her near the terror of the island's rock coast. A bushfire burned in the island's east. The Nobby's light was seen through the spray. In the confusion they thought it Cape Shank, and prayed they now could make some headway. But the massive waves and howling wind drove the great ship in without grace. Both anchors were cast. One weighed 3 tons, but in the huge surge the chains parted like lace. The deck was flooded with boiling foam, the ropes uncurled and flailed, the crew all braced for the impact. She struck. All their work had failed. With a scream she swung round and lay broadside. In her stern a large hole was torn. Waves as high as the topgallant yards. The men thought their lives were gone. Captain Tilston called for the lifeboats above the mad roar of the gale. The men worked together to free them. At this they must not fail. Some men kept their feet and jumped in and clung on as the lifeboats were lowered. The boats lurched, rocked and bashed into pieces as over them the surf towered. From the deck the captain watched in despair as all of the men went down. By some miracle all but one reached the shore, scrambling, part swimming or thrown. Captain Tilston grasped his second mate, Cook. "We must get a line to the shore," he cried. Cook nodded, then called the apprentice Kingcross. "Together we'll get there and get the rope tied." The line was tied about Cook's waist. He and Kingcross at great peril went over the side. They kept their heads up in the boiling surf and reached safety, young Kingcross acting as guide. The line tied fast on a craggy rock, they signalled for their shipmates to come. But their shipmates thought of Henderson, all battered and drowned, and would not descend. They were numb. Captain Tilston shouted over the blast, "They made it, men, and so will we. Our ship is lost. I should stay till last, but bear up, my men, and follow me." One by one they descended down the line, clinging on for dear life against the pull of the waves. One by one they reached sand and fell down as if dead, thanking God, Cook and Kingcross, their lives had been saved. Their great ship stood groaning against the rocks. They watched her a while as they found their breath. Captain Tilston walked among them grave-faced, wondering how he had seen only one death. The mighty Speke of the Leyland line now lies like bones under 80 feet. Just parts of her bow rest rusted and worn on the beach for walkers and pilgrims to greet. Many photos are taken, many paintings created, of this picturesque ruin that faces Bass Strait? How many who come here to touch and to wonder ever realize that once this ruin was great?